Today, home ec students, we're going to talk about vegetables. I know some of you are already grimacing because in your mind you do not like vegetables, nor do you want to learn about them. However, because it's wonderful and a benefit to you, we're going to talk about them today. What is the difference between fruit and vegetables? Fruit is the portion of the plant that holds the seed. Thus, you learned yesterday in the video, maybe you didn't know this, that avocados are actually a fruit, and so are tomatoes because they house the seed. Vegetables are the other parts of the plants. They can include root and stems, leaves, bulbs, and flowers. And so any vegetables will have multiple vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, nutrients, and can provide so much for your health and life. Vegetables can be your life if you will allow them to be and provide so much for you. So hopefully as we talk about this, your curiosity might be stirred and maybe you will think about actually trying some vegetables. I have a lot of students who say they don't like vegetables when in fact they've actually not tried them, or when they have tried them, they've been badly prepared. And so then gaining knowledge about how to actually cook vegetables can make you decide you actually like them. All right. When you purchase your produce, fruits and vegetables, obviously you need to be washing them before consuming them. What the washing does remove is any pesticide residue, any dirt, any pathogens, which it seems we're consumed with today. I even hear people are spraying down the bags and the packaging for the food they're purchasing, worrying about corona, which that's fine too. Doesn't hurt to be extra cautious. So when you wash your vegetables, you're looking at different types of vegetables. They might be a tender vegetable that would be more fragile, and so to wash them, run them under cold water. If they're a thicker skin vegetable like potatoes or sweet potatoes, you can actually scrub them with a brush. My mother always had two brushes in the kitchen for cleaning, one for vegetables and one for dishes, to try and keep them separate. What about things that you peel? Do you still need to wash them? Yes. You need to remove the pesticide residue that you're handling with your hands and any dirt, and then peel them. Think about potatoes. My grandmother would even wash her bananas, and sometimes I don't do that. Is it good to soak your produce in water? It's recommended that you don't, because you can incur nutrient loss in that water. What about detergents? Should you use detergent on your produce? And the answer is no, because there are some harmful ingredients in detergents that may adhere to the skin and adhere to the vegetable or fruit, and you might ingest that. I've also read that some of the detergents can react with the wax that is on your produce or pesticides, causing harmful things that you might ingest. So you can purchase specifically made washes for fruits and vegetables, or just use cold water to rinse them off good. Why do we cook vegetables? We've talked about this in class: to soften or change the texture, as well as to increase flavor, and to make them, sometimes cooking allows them to be more easily digested and nutrients more absorbable as we cook them. However, you have to be careful about cooking, because you can lose the nutrients by cooking them the wrong way, and we've talked about that. How do you minimize nutrient loss? By looking at how you're cooking them. The best way to cook, and we talked about this in class as well, just a reminder, is steaming your vegetables, because you minimize the loss by not having them come into contact with water. A lot of the vitamins can be leached out through the water, and then if you don't consume that, then they're lost. What are the effects of cooking? It does change the texture, color, and flavor, and hopefully it's in a more desirable way. If you overcook vegetables, then it's less desirable. You can change the texture from something pleasant to something mushy, and then people don't like that. You can change the color to where it's bright and attractive to not so great. Think of broccoli. Overcooking broccoli turns it to mush and turns the color to from a vivid green to kind of an olive green. Thus, it's not very appetizing. If you cook it a longer period of time, I also believe the nutrient value is changed in that as well. You want your cooking to enhance the flavor and texture, and retain that color. Overcooked vegetables probably still do have nutritional value. They're just harder to swallow. The cooking methods that we've talked about, and we're able to do some of those in class. Again, steaming for your best nutrient loss. Why don't people steam everything? It does take a little longer, and people like variety, I guess. Simmering your vegetables, use a small amount of water, and the best way to do that is to allow the water to be cooked out, to be absorbed and to evaporate out, and then you're left with no liquid to consume. Or if you're making soups and stews, consume that liquid for nutrient. Baking and roasting your vegetables is another excellent way to preserve the nutrients. However, usually you do add oil, so you add a little more calories and fat content. Good oils can be used that actually enhance flavor as well as provide benefits to your body. Sauteing is a little bit of oil in the stove. It's a good way to cook your vegetables. And stir frying, you do it more quickly at a higher temperature, I believe, is the difference between sauteing and stir frying. Deep frying your vegetables, which everybody loves, that actually changes the flavor to all you taste is the fat, and add a lot of calories. I would advise that that is only special occasions, eating deep fried vegetables, i.e. French fries. Variety of ways of cooking. Experiment with different vegetables and different methods of cooking to see which one you like the best. The nutrition in vegetables is typically vegetables are nutrition dense if they're cooked well. When you think about what role vegetables play in your diet, are vegetables fats, protein, or carbs? And the answer is carbs. All plants are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates provide fuel. They are broken down into glucose, which fuels and energizes your body. Carbs are starches and sugars, and you also have simple and complex carbs. You think of simple sugars are fructose, refined sugar like sucrose is what table sugars are. Starches are a little more complex, and so there would be more in the sugar chain, and it would take a little bit longer to break down into the glucose that your body can use. And so some vegetables are considered starch, like potatoes. Corn and beans actually have a good bit of starch in them. And so you want to limit the amount of starches that you eat to 1 or 2 servings a day. And then you want the complex vegetables. The complex are longer sugar chains. They take longer to break down. They also typically have a good bit more fiber in them, which is a benefit to your digestive system. And so you kind of think about limiting your starches, particularly in a meal. You would not want a meal of a protein, say chicken, with multiple starches, corn, rice, potatoes, and pasta. Those would all be starches, and so you're not getting the variety there. You would limit your starch to 1 a meal and then include lots of complex vegetables. The question becomes, how can you get more vegetables in your day? Because Americans are limited to how much they eat based on the fact that they think they don't like them. My advice is try them. Your taste buds change over the years, and I found this to be true when I was young. I didn't like broccoli. When I tried it again in my teenage years, I actually decided that it was tasty, and I like broccoli. My mom used to cook greens frequently growing up, collard greens and mustard greens, and I did not like them at all. I thought they were very bitter. But in my adult life, I found some excellent recipes that sweeten and soften them, and I serve them regularly to my family, much to their chagrin. A great recipe I found is grits and greens. So you cook the greens with onions and garlic and chicken broth, a little bit of bacon, and then serve them with a cheese grits. That's amazing. Even my husband, who is from the north, doesn't like grits, doesn't like greens, but he will eat the combination. So try some new recipes. Try to figure out ways to get more vegetables in your diet. I have included a short video of some ideas for you to think about and possibly try. Also, there will be a short video about some of the nutritional value of vegetables. when we look at nutrition, often you focus on one thing at a time. However, the variety and the combination of vegetables and whole grains and fruits in your diet, we haven't even begun to explore how all of those things work together. And so variety is the key. Daily, try different things and try different colors and try different ways of cooking things in order to get more into your life. Hope y'all have a great day, and we'll be talking to you again soon. Be sure to like. Just kidding.